Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Phil from Team Cerberus, and I am doing the second of the block of Bounty Hunters episodes. We, if you live in the United States and paid $5 a month for Discovery Plus, are getting this week. Yeah, this is the Tombstone episode, one I am definitely looking forward to. Tombstone's had a bit of a rough season this year, but is still as destructive as ever, and I am really excited to see it at least get one more. Well, I say at least get one more fight. It's only going to get one more fight because it only gets one fight in this. But yeah, um, before I even get into the fights, am I going way too far with the bounty hunter stock images? Like, I did some kind of standard, like, the Cartman and Dale Gribble ones to start off with, and this time I'm just like random horror movie things. I feel like maybe 10% of people might get the reference. Last time I had Creighton Duke from Jason Goes to Hell, the Friday the 13th movie, and then now I've got the Bounty Hunters from Critter. I think it's Critters 2, right? Or is it Critters 1? I can't remember now. I'm just doing everything in my power not to put Star Wars references in there until I'm out of ideas. I think we got two more Bounty Hunters to go, so we'll see how far I can get with that joke. But yeah, enough about that. Let's jump into the fights. First off, we have Gruff versus Gemini. Interesting matchup. I'm gonna give this one to Gruff. Despite having two bots with Gemini, their weapons aren't particularly dangerous from what I've seen, unless they go. I know they have a configuration where they could just be one robot. Even that, I don't think is. I think it's just extra defense, not really extra offense, which isn't really going to help them here. So I assume they'll run multi-bot configuration. But I don't see them being dangerous enough to really hurt Gruff. That thing's a tank. And, Gruff could just take out one at a time. I don't think it's even really going to matter to it. It could just keep going. Next up, we have Deadlift versus Jackpot. Um, and I'm going to bet on Jackpot here. And with a joke that bad, I could work on the Battlebots writing staff. But yeah, I've been really impressed with Jackpot. It's won, what, three. I mean, I know one of its knockouts against Sub Zero wasn't really all that impressive, but it has three knockouts on its record right now, and that's pretty cool. So I think it could do a decent job beating up Deadlift. Deadlift, I don't see being that threatening. I know there was some talk about Jackpot not having a self-righting mechanism. Was that Jackpot or was that Tracer? I know I see a self-righting mechanism on Jackpot. I just don't know if it's functional. But as long as it's able to right itself if it does get flipped by Deadlift, I think it's going to be fine. Next up, we have the Battle of the Control Bots, Claw Viper versus Kraken. And I think before the season started, if I was looking at this matchup, I would have said Claw Viper here. I feel like on paper, given the speed of Claw Viper, the kind of extra controllability it has with being able to lift as well as clamp, I would have said that would have been the bot that would have the advantage here. But seeing that Claw Viper hasn't had the best season so far, it's had some control issues and things, and seeing how good Kraken has been this year, like, I got to give it to Kraken. I feel like that is, yeah, that's the bot for this one. And I just realized, like, all these other bots have, like, slightly different or at least mirrored photos on the BattleBots site versus what's on the Bounty Hunter list. And Kraken, or is it just mirrored so that it looks right? Never mind. I think it just mirrored some of the images so that they faced inwards. I think that's what was going on here. And then we have Smee versus Mammoth. And this is going to be an interesting one. I feel like it's going to be a really frustrating fight for Mammoth because they're going to have a hard time getting any purchase on Smee. So I think Smee's going to take this one and be able to kind of, push Mammoth around or at least annoy the hell out of it. And I just really don't see, unless Mammoth can get behind Smee and get a lift on the backside of that wedge, I see it having a really hard time in this fight. So I'm going to give it to Smee. So Gruff versus Jackpot. I'm going to give this one to Gruff. I feel like they have, once again, the durability to take on that weapon at least a little bit, and they can play the control game here. While I don't think Deadlift is going to be able to do a whole lot to Jackpot because it hasn't really performed super well so far this season, Gruff has the speed, it has the control, it has, all that I think they could take this fight. Kraken versus Smee. Yeah, I don't know about this one. This is a tough one to call. Um, I can see Kraken having an easier time against with this than Gruff or Mammoth would. I feel like I'm mixing all the bots' names up this time. Wow, go me. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Kraken. I'm not super confident because this could be a Smee's a weird bot. It's like one of those. I mean, hasn't been as successful as like Huge, or even Mammoth. Really, I don't think. I'd have to look at Mammoth's record to be 100% sure about saying that, but it is one of those weird bots that you can't always fight the same way you'd fight another thing, and uh, it could have an advantage here, but I'm gonna go with Kraken because I think they might actually be able to control this in some interesting ways with the way their bot's shaped. So, of course, even subconsciously, I just make this become another Florida fight. So I just want the people that I see at local events to win, I guess, whether it's conscious or not. Um, but so yeah, if we had Gruff versus Kraken, I would give this one to Gruff. I think they would have the advantage over Kraken. They're able to keep Kraken on its back. It takes Kraken a little while to self right. So I think they would have an advantage to be able to push him around. Plus, I think I have video somewhere of Gruff just like picking Kraken up by its face and throwing it around from one of the Orlando events. So I kind of think I've seen this fight. Granted, it was like version 1 Kraken, but still, both bots have upgraded a lot since then. And how cool would this be? I think this would be a great fight. Gruff versus Tombstone for the finals. Um, I would give this one to Tombstone. I think they would be able to do enough damage to Gruff. As much as I say Gruff is a tank, uh, there's a limit, right? There's a limit of how much damage a bot can actually have inflicted on it, and I think Tombstone would break that limit. Especially Gruff coming off multiple other fights and Tombstone being fresh. But yeah, so those are my predictions. I feel a little more confident on this one than I did on the last Bounty Hunters episode, but still, the brackets throw me off because one wrong prediction early on, then it like shatters the whole thing. So there's a lot more chance for me to be completely wrong here. But that's how I'm seeing this going. So let me know in the comments below what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Later.